So 2025 was an interesting year for the NFL draft in terms of the quarterback class. There was really only 2 guys that were slated to go in the first round, and you had guys, that were decent below them, Jalen Milroe and Dylan Gabriel and Quinn Ewers and guys like that. But for the most part, I think there was a consensus that Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders were the top prospects in that draft. 2026 is a lot different. So in 2026, we have guys like Carson Beck, who just transferred to Miami from Georgia. We have guys like Drew Aller, a 6'5", 238-pound quarterback from Penn State, who probably would have been a first-round pick in the 2025 draft had he declared. And then we have guys like Lenoris Sellers from South Carolina, a big scrambling style quarterback. Reminds me a lot of like a Tim Tebow kind of archetype, a Cam Newton type of archetype. And then we have guys like Garrett Nussmeier, who's a pure pocket passer, a guy who drops back consistently and can make every throw on the field and make the good reads. And then you have guys, obviously, with the most hype, like Arch Manning, who's more than likely going to be a first-round pick unless he does something atrocious in 2026. So what I want to do, though, is kind of just go over who I believe are the top 5 quarterbacks in this class and kind of just give you a little breakdown of them. As an honorable mention, though, I want to throw in Carson Beck. The only reason why I don't want to make this video without mentioning him is because I feel like the move from Georgia over to Miami, I think he's going to have a much easier time in the ACC than he did in the SEC. I think things are going to slow down at least a little bit for him. There's a lot less 4 and 5 stars to go up against defensively. And a lot of those 4 and 5 stars are on his team in Miami. So I think things are going to slow down for him. I think he's got a good chance to make himself a top 5 quarterback in this class and a first round pick if he can really build on what he did in 2024 with the Georgia Bulldogs, and if he can limit the turnovers. With him, though, I think he's got exceptional ball placement, extremely accurate. He's very good at anticipating and just has a really good knowledge of where his receiver is going to be and where he needs to put the ball. He's pretty quick processing too, making his reads. I think he's very quick with that. I think he's advanced there already, and that's part of the reason why I think things are kind of going to slow down in the ACC. However, I do think he has some weaknesses. He's got a lot of weaknesses that he's got to work on. I think his pocket mobility is very limited. I don't see on film a lot of explosive movement from him. I think he struggles sometimes to extend plays. I think that could be a problem in the future for him. And then his deep ball. His deep ball has kind of always been an issue for me when I've watched him. He hesitates a lot before he throws that deep ball, and I think that could definitely be a downfall for him. But these are all things that I believe are coachable. So coming in at number 5 here, I have Cade Klubnik, the quarterback from Clemson. There's a lot to like from Cade Klubnik. I think he has a lot of abilities that are going to translate very well into the NFL. I think he's got exceptional deep ball. He's got a really good deep ball. It's consistent. The ball placement, it started off a little rough, I would say, in 2023. Occasionally he'd overshoot guys or underthrow guys. I think now from this past year, I think he's really improved on his touch and his accuracy. And honestly, I think an underrated aspect of Cade Klubnik is his speed and his ability to extend plays, his ability to roll out. I think he's kind of beginning to develop into a true dual threat style quarterback. And in the NFL, I think we're gonna see how that's really going to be beneficial towards him. However, he does have some weaknesses still. I do think that they're not the biggest deal, honestly. I think he occasionally struggles to process the defense pre-snap. I think it shows a lot of the time when he snaps the ball that he can occasionally be a little confused or hesitate a little too much, which can cause maybe an early scramble or something like that. So I think that's something that he can probably work on. And then his frame is he's a little lean. I think he's around early 200s. Probably should put on just a little bit more if he's going to make the NFL. The NFL is brutal, man. You're going to get hit a lot. But all of these are pretty coachable things. And then the other thing would be his decision making under pressure. I think it's not the worst. It's something that definitely does have to improve, especially if he's going to go to the NFL, which obviously he will. I think he'll probably end up being a second or a first round pick. But yeah, he just has to work on those things, and I think once he does that, I think he could honestly be one of the top prospects in this draft. So coming in at number 4 here, I have Lenoris Sellers, the quarterback from South Carolina. The only reason I have him as low as I do is because he may or may not declare. He does have another year of eligibility left. He could come back. He could go into the 2027 class. But as of right now, the speculation is that he will more than likely declare just based off the talent and based off of the year he's projected to have. I really like Lenoris Sellers, man. If he was a certain player to come out in 2026, then I think I would have him higher than this. I think he reminds me so much of Cam Newton when I watch him play, except maybe not as physical, but just as elusive, if not more so. I love the speed on Lenoris Sellers. I love the escapability, the ability to break tackles, and the ability to extend plays and staying calm while extending the play and being able to throw the ball down the field and make an accurate throw to your receiver. I think he has all the intangibles to make a very good NFL quarterback. I think he does struggle with one thing: his accuracy isn't the best currently. I mean, we've seen some really good throws on tape, but there are some throws that are a little questionable at times. But he's young. He was a freshman playing last year. It was his first year starting. He's young. He's got a lot of things to iron out. But I think once he does, I think sky's the limit for Lenoris Sellers. And if he does declare, I think there's not really much question in my mind that he will be a first round pick, maybe even an early first round pick. So coming in at number 3 here, I have Garrett Nussmeier, the quarterback from LSU. He's somebody with a lot of hype going into this draft. Had a lot of hype last year. There was maybe a rumor he would have even declared last year. However, maybe it wasn't the year he was anticipating. Not a bad year by any means. I think he's got a lot to like too, man, on tape. He's got really, really good arm talent, man. I mean, he slings that ball with so much velocity. He's got a strong arm. He can stretch the field really, really nicely, and he's got good touch even on those fast passes. He's good at layering it, and he can occasionally shows ability in anticipating as well. Maybe not as good as somebody like a Carson Beck or something like that, but that's something you can work on. And he's a pretty quick processor. I mean, processes defenses really well. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like here. A couple of concerns with him would be he's a little inconsistent when it comes to his reads. He processes fast, but at times it can be the wrong read, and it is a little inconsistent. And then he struggles against disguise coverages. We saw that a lot, especially against Arkansas and Texas A&M. A lot of those shifts caused a lot of confusion for him. You could kind of even see it on his face. And then he also his decision making needs a little bit of help, I would say. Like I was saying before, he can make the wrong read occasionally. It's a little inconsistent still, but he's got a lot to work on. But I think there's a lot to like here with Nussmeier, and I think he could easily be a developmental first round or second round pick. So coming in at number 2 here, we have Drew Aller, the quarterback from Penn State. I really just like the size on Drew Aller a lot. 6'5", 238 pounds. It's a big quarterback, prototypical NFL size. I'm convinced that if he had declared last year, regardless of kind of a lackluster 2024, I believe that he would have absolutely been a first round pick, especially in the past, in the last quarterback class. I think in this one, he absolutely has a chance again to be a first round pick. I will say one thing about Drew Aller. He tends to disappear at times. I would say we saw it a little bit in the college football playoffs this past year, where he did disappear a little bit. But he has elite arm talent. He can drive the ball to all levels of the field. And he has really good velocity, much like Garrett Nussmeier. But he also, his timing on a lot of throws can be off sometimes, and I feel like he oftentimes predetermines his throw rather than letting the play, build out. So I mean, those are just a few things that I think Drew Aller could work on. But I think overall, he's a really good prospect with good size, and I think teams are gonna value the athlete he is at his size, and are gonna value the arm talent. So coming in at number 1 for my top 5 quarterbacks of the 2026 class as of right now will be Arch Manning, the quarterback from Texas. Doesn't really need much of an introduction. I think most of the football universe knows about him now at this point. Man, there is a lot to like about Arch Manning. I think his talent becomes even more impressive when you consider his age and how young he actually is, how limited collegiate experience he has, and the things he's able to do already at such a young age. His pocket presence really blows me away for somebody that hasn't really played much college football yet. It's really, really good. He does not panic often. He's very poised under the pocket, and he's just got really good mechanics. I mean, you can tell he's a Manning. You can tell those people have been in his ears now for a while, and it really shows on the field. Sometimes he can be a little too confident, but I don't think that's something to worry about. There's a lot here to like with Arch Manning, and I honestly think that he will more than likely be a top 5 pick in the 2026 draft.